Hey everyone, I'm Mr. Guy, and I should not have started. I have to go to the bathroom. Yes, I did wash my hands, and yes, that joke was planned. By the way, Red Fox shirt, best band in the world. Don't argue with me on that one, you are factually wrong. So today, I'll be predicting what Nintendo does next year, which nobody has ever done, ever. But really, I decided to do this because I love talking, just in general, but I love talking about Nintendo, and I know a lot of people have done this before, including Arlo, who has probably already uploaded his yearly predictions video. And I'm not trying to copy him or anything. I just like to talk a bunch about Nintendo, and I thought it'd be fun. And I'm not gonna let leaks affect this as much as I can. I mean, they will a little bit, but I just think it wouldn't really be that fun if I relied on leaks heavily, because it almost feels like cheating, because if I'm right, then it wasn't my prediction, it was someone else's. So let's jump into it. But not before today's sponsor. Got my Sprite brand soda popular drink. Sponsored by Sprite. That's not funny. So to start things out, there will be a Direct in January. Yes, I am predicting that. I know we haven't had a Direct in over a year, and some people think they're gone for good, but I don't think so. I think we didn't have any Directs this year because they wanted to make sure the release date was 100% locked down, and they couldn't really do that until the game was like 2 months from release, so next year is when things will get back to normal, I would say. Like, we already saw an example of this with Mario 3D World plus Bowser Fury or whatever. That was announced, 5 months in advance, so I think, yeah. Anyway, I think this year is going to be really big for Nintendo, and this first Direct will, demonstrate that, because it'll have two big announcements. The first one will be 2D Metroid, and it'll come out in May, I'll say. And yeah, this is a rumor, I know. I just said I wouldn't let those affect this, but I really think it's going to happen. Back in the beginning of this year, it was rumored alongside 3D All-Stars and Pikmin 3 and Paper Mario. So I think it's going to happen. I think really it is. Next thing is going to be a new Kirby game, Mainline. It's going to come out in August. Now I think it's definitely been long enough since the last one, almost 3 years at this point. I also think there's a good chance it could be in 3D. Now, why do I say this? Well, I mean, first of all, it's been 3 years, Kirby games don't usually take that long. Secondly, I think back when Kirby Fighters 2 was released, a data mine came out, and they found, test programs for a 3D Kirby game. And it was completely unrelated to the 3DS stuff that had already happened, like the 3DS Blowout Blast or whatever. So maybe it's just a prototype and nothing will come of it, but maybe that's what the next Kirby game is going to be. I don't know. Hopefully, because we've kind of reached a point where we're stagnating a little bit, and I think that would really be a nice shake-up. Next, in February, there's going to be a Pokemon Direct, because there's always a Pokemon Direct, and I predict Gen 4 remakes. Yeah, pretty safe prediction. I mean, it's inevitable at this point. That'll be the holiday title, releasing in November. And not Zelda, I'll get into that. I'll also have a trailer for Pokemon Snap. It'll come out in March. And they might show Detective Pikachu, I'm not sure. Because that was, when did they talk about that? 2018, 2019? So it could be far long enough to show. Might even come out this year, I don't know though. I'm not a big Pokemon guy, so I just read the news about it. In March, there will be another Direct. This will focus on titles coming out in quarter 2, and give us more details on games that have already been announced. So Pokemon Snap and Metroid will get new trailers because, Nintendo likes to do that. They like to have a million trailers for all their games. And we'll also get another Fire Emblem remake, which will come out in June. And I know that we just got the NES game, but that's kind of a tiny little project. So I think they like to do remakes also for Fire Emblem. I don't know which one it'll be for. Maybe Blazing Blade. That was the first one to come out in America. So I don't know. I'm not big into Fire Emblem either. I think we'll get something this year. We'll see though. New trailer for No More Heroes 3 as well, and that will come out in July. That's when they'll announce the release date. I think it's not Q1 or Q2. I mean, not Q1 at least. No, it's not Q2. Well, yeah, it's not coming out in the first half of the year, basically, I don't think. It's just, it's too packed, you know? July is a good spot. It's right in the middle of the summer when there usually isn't a whole lot coming out. And we just had the first 2 games, and that gives people like a little bit of time to play the first 2 and, like, you know, really get excited. So I think that's the perfect timing for it. And I think Nintendo will see that. Also, we'll get N64 for Switch Online. Yeah, I know. We didn't get anything this year. No new system. I think that was just delayed because of COVID. So I think March it'll happen. I don't know if it'll come out the same day as the Direct, but same week, I'll say. Maybe the week after, something like that. They like to, if you've seen their tweets when they announce new batches of games, they always come out like a week after they're announced. New trailer for Shin Megami Tensei 5, and that will come out in August along with Kirby. They have done that before where they've released a first party and a third party game. This year is already going to be packed as it is, so 2 releases in 1 month isn't going to be, you know, crazy or anything. Also, to cap it off, there will be a new Smash character that'll be revealed to come out in April. I think it'll be Rayman. For pretty much no other reason than that I want him, because he'd be cool, and I like Rayman a lot. But that's my prediction, so I don't need a reason for it. That sounds like a pretty awesome Direct to me. I think I'd be happy with that. At some point before March 31st, you know, when the Fire Emblem NES is going to be taken down, they're going to add it to Switch Online. And because they're not, you know, they're not that stupid. Also, by the way, Mario 64 will be part of Switch Online for N64. I think they're not that stupid, you know. Like, who's going to get Switch Online 64? Who's going to play it if Mario 64 isn't one of them? I mean, I guess everybody who owns 3D All-Stars, which is like a lot of people, but point is, you gotta have Mario 64, basically. April, the Smash character comes out, they'll have a trailer for that, whatever. And then in May, there will be more retro games added to Switch Online, you know. I don't know if they'll continue doing one for every system, because there's 3 systems now. Maybe they'll stop doing NES, but maybe they won't. I don't know. That'd be pretty cool if we got 3 systems. Even if we had to wait, you know, every 3 months, or 2, or, you know, not a little more than I'd want. I'm really good at English, by the way. I just wish that they released a game every week or 2. I mean, like, when it was ready, instead of waiting 3 months to do it. It's ridiculous. It's such a slow drip. Enough about my tangent. Okay, so sometime before E3, maybe the month of, I don't know, they're gonna show the Switch 2 or Pro, or, you know, with new funky mode or whatever. It's basically gonna be a souped up Switch. And I think they'll do this. They won't show it at E3 because when they revealed the Switch Lite, they just kind of dropped a trailer out of nowhere. So they'll do something similar to that for the Switch Pro. It'll be, you know, 1080p 60 for everything. I don't know, maybe 1440, but if it's going to be 4K, it's going to use upscaling, like the NVIDIA whatever, you know. And I hope it isn't docked only, but it could be, which would be pretty lame. But if it isn't docked only, I want a 1080p screen, that'd be pretty awesome. Next, we got E3, I think is going to be pretty good. It'll have, mostly focused on 2021, but it'll have a few surprises in there. New Smash character for July. I think it'll be Ryu Hubasa. I mean, Ryu Hubasa, what? I think it'll be Ryu Habasa. How do you say it? Wait, let me find this out. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Okay. It's Rio. No, it's Ryu. Okay.
Ryu Hayabusa.
I'm gonna say Hayabusa. I don't know. I think it'll be Ryu Hayabusa because he's starred in the Ninja Gaiden series, which has been running for a long time, and it started on the NES. So long history with Nintendo, which usually ups the chances of a character. I think. You know, it's pretty popular series, and you know, it's Japanese, which also raises the chances. It's not a rule. It doesn't have to be Japanese, but we have a lot more Japanese characters than we do Western ones. So, you know, I just think, yeah, I think it's a likely pick. So that's what I'm gonna do for July. The big new thing will be 3D Mario, and that will be announced for early 2022. I think it could be Odyssey 2, but it's been so long at this point that they've had enough time to work on something brand new. So hopefully it's Odyssey 2. I think they could take the capture mechanic and all that and just do a lot of cool things with it that they haven't done already. Yeah, I mean, it's just been too long for them not to be doing something, because what has the 3D Mario team done since Odyssey? Nothing. I just think it makes sense. New trailers for No More Heroes and Fire Emblem and Kirby, because, you know, that's how they fill the time. And I think Metroid Prime 4 will show up, but it'll just be a little teaser. I don't know if they'll show any gameplay, because it could come out, you know, 2022 or 23, but we'll definitely see it there, I think. If not, we'll see it at the Game Awards, but I'll talk about that later. There will be a couple Zelda things for its 35th anniversary. We'll get a collection, a trilogy, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and Skyward Sword, which will come out in September. And then we'll get a new trailer for Breath of the Wild 2 or whatever. We'll get the name and release date and all. We'll get a big blowout on it, and it will be pretty rad. And it'll come out in October, not November, because that's Pokemon. I don't think Nintendo has the guts to do that. Release 2 giant games in 1 month. They want to give each some little breathing room, you know. Come on. You want to burp? Come on. Do it. Come on. Alright, no. Fine. I'll just have a weird chest for the rest of the video. More Switch Online retro games in August, you know. Check the box there. There will be another Direct in September. And, you know, they'll touch up on some upcoming games. And, of course, they'll announce new stuff. I think they'll have a new Smash character for November. And I think it'll be Doom Guy. Because, I mean, you know, they have a good relationship. Every Doom game is on the Switch, every single one, which is, first of all, that's pretty cool, and secondly, I think it gives Doom Guy a better chance. And also, I mean, you know, Eternal, I think Doom Eternal will have DLC still coming out, or at least, you know, it'll be relevant with updates and all that. So I think it just makes sense, both in a business sense and in just a sense of he will be cool and people will like him. Yeah, I think it'll happen. Plus, I mean, who wouldn't want to play as Doom Guy? I mean, he has a chainsaw and a grappling hook shotgun. If that was his grab, that'd be pretty cool. Quick new trailers for Zelda, you know, both things, the collection and Wild 2. And then I think they'll show Metroid Prime Trilogy HD, which will come out early 2022 as sort of a little warm-up before Prime 4. I think to end the Direct. Pikmin 4 will never come out. I mean, no, you know what? Screw it. I think Pikmin 4 will get a trailer in this Direct, and it'll come out like Q2 2022. You know why? Okay, actually, wait. Let me get my tinfoil hat on real quick. Wow, look at that really fantastically edited tinfoil hat. It almost looks completely real, even. Anyway, I think that they waited to port Pikmin 3 to the Switch for a reason. Like, they could have had it in 2018, for example, when the release schedule was pretty barren, and, you know, they could have had it any other time besides 2020, but they waited until Pikmin 4 was somewhat close. That's what I think. And, yeah, that's my farthest out prediction I got. Also, I gotta clear my throat before it disappears. I bet that sounds good in the audio. And then more Switch Online games in November, because gotta check the box, like I just said. Really original jokes here. That's what you get when you sign up for this. I think the Game Awards could be interesting, because Smash will be done. There won't be any more DLC for that. I think 2 is the max, because they already went way over budget. And Sakurai, I mean, he needs a break eventually, you know? He's been working on Smash. First of all, he's been working on it for 20 years. And for 8 years straight. Which is too much, in my opinion. I mean, I really love Smash, but he has a lot of talent he could be using on other stuff. And Smash is good as it is right now, and especially will be when the pass is over. But anyway, I think if Metroid Prime 4 doesn't show up at E3, it'll show up here. I think if Bayonetta 3 wasn't at E3, then, and Metroid Prime 4 was, then Bayonetta 3 will be at the Game Awards, and it'll come out, you know, quarter 2, April, May, you know, something like that of 2022. My last prediction is that half of this won't happen. So yeah, those are my predictions. Pretty safe, as you can tell, you know, nothing too crazy besides maybe Pikmin 4, but I think it'll be a really good year next year, and it'll lead into a pretty good year after that as well. I think it'll be a good year next year because, one, COVID and everything got delayed, but two, it seems like Nintendo has this pattern where they have one really good year and one year that is pretty light, with kind of a breather year. And we had 2017 was big, 18 was small, 19 was big, 20 was small. So I think next year we're going to continue the pattern, and it'll be one of their stronger years in general, you know. Yeah. I know I said my next video was going to be a review, and you got this instead, but I just really wanted to talk about this. I thought it'd be fun, and I didn't have to make that interesting of a script. I just kind of had some notes, and I got to go off in my own direction, which is pretty easy to do for video making. But I swear my next video will be a review, so I'll see you then. Also, happy holidays or whatever.